Hey guys, we're live. This is MFGCast. We are looking to talk about another game that you should know. You've probably heard it on our podcast a crap ton. It's called Port Royale. Currently, it's produced by Steve Jackson Games, formerly of, what is it again? Who owned it before?
Lookout Spiel did it before. That's the German version.
Lookout Spiel, yep. And now Steve Jackson has it with their tinier cards. But yeah, just a game that we've always, kind of dug, and it's something that we thought that you should know about. So let's talk a little bit about what Port Royale is and how it plays. So Dan, why don't you kind of let our fans know exactly what Port Royale is all about?
All right, sounds good, man. Before I start, by the way, I thought you might want to appreciate this time. One of the very few times you'll see me in a non-wrestling T-shirt. How do you like that, Kurt? Of course, it's Borderlands 2, so it's still nerd, but
That's okay. Hey, we're all about nerdy things around here.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, just thought I would share that with you. So Port Royale, what's great about it is tiny little game, right? Just deck of cards, and it's a push your luck game. Now, the way the game works is every time you're the active player, right? You flip over the top card of the deck. And you might get something like the Sailor, per se, who's a guy that helps you fight off enemy ships. And we're actually going to give this a little tilt to keep a few cards out so you can get an idea of things. You might get, like, say, an Admiral. This guy actually lets you get extra money towards buying cards. The whole thing in the game, though, is it deals with these ships, right? Now, in the Steve Jackson version, you'll notice there's things like the Spanish ships and the American ships. I know there's a little bit of glare. America's a shiny country. You also got British, right? Now, the thing is, as you're going through, you're pushing your luck. You want to, get ships to get money, right? So you'll notice in our current layout here, right? American ship is worth 3 gold coins right up top. British ship is worth 2 coins. The Spain ship is only worth 1. Now, this game has like a little bit of difference from your normal push your luck games. Most push your luck games are simple, like go or bust on one thing. In this game, there's 5 different nations of ships, right? So right now, we actually got Spanish, American, British, and French out. If you got 4 different nations of ships, you actually get to pick 2 cards. So you can like take the American ship for 3 gold and then use that 3 gold to buy your trader. You can decide to push your luck again. And look, now we got the Dutch ship, the 5th nation. If there's 5 different nations of ships, you actually get to pick 3 cards. So you can take the American gold, you can take the Admiral, you can take all these different things. The game goes until you decide you're going to claim a card, right? Or until you get another ship matching one of the nations already in play. So take, for example, if I pulled this Dutch ship right here, that's it. I busted, right? The other thing in this, though, is you got some other little cool mechanics. Like, take, for example, say I got these couple of cards out here and I decide to pass, right? I take the American ship. I get some money. Everyone else can take any of these cards. And all they have to do is give me shiny gold coin and it's theirs, right? So there's a lot of player interaction in this one because unlike most push your lucks of I go, I stop, you're invested in what I got out there. You might want that Sailor or you might want to get that Dutch ship because you might have a worker that gives you more money for your Dutch ships. Or you might want to make sure you get that Sailor that I have out there so you can get some more swords. And the reason, because swords help you avoid busting. If you fight off a ship, you won't bust. There's a variety of people with different skills in this game, a really fun push your luck, and the objective is really simple. It's the first to 12 points, right? So you'll notice like in the top corner there, this guy's like worth 1 victory point. The Sailor over here, he's worth 2. And you'll see like a nice little spread. Like this Sailor's only 3 gold. He's a sword and 1 victory point. The Sailor that's 5 gold is 2 victory points. So there's not a ton of repetition. There's like a little bit of variety between the characters. And it's really cool. Like you can also even go on missions, right? Missions will pop up and they're cards that look like this. If you have the 3 people that have those skills, in this case, you need a captain like for the anchor, you need a priest, and you also need they were actually called like Catans in the other one, like a settler, I think is the English card. You can actually claim this card, and now you're going to get some extra gold, and you're going to get even more victory points than those people would have been worth by themselves, right?
And I love that. I love that the guys like they look like a bad guy from like the Three Musketeers or from like Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that. It's like finish this mission of a or a wood house or a cross made of gold. I'm like, man, that's a hard mission to do.
I do like that the missions also have no words on them. It's just a blank piece of paper with big drawings. It's like, yeah, the captain never finished second grade.
It's like, here, I will show you what I need in pictures.
Now, what's cool about this game too, though, and this is like my favorite part, is there's a lot of people that like to count cards, right? But say you get 4 gold from something, you'll notice at the back of every card is the gold coins. So if you get 4 gold, you just take top 4 off the deck. You have no idea what these cards are. It can be 4 of like a class. It could be mission cards. It could be tax cards. It could be all the sailors. You never know. It's all like based on that luck of the shuffle, you know? So like you might go in through and you're like, oh man, we only saw 3 American ships. I know there's 7 more in that deck. I don't know. Maybe there's not, because it could be what people's currencies are. So what's cool is this idea keeps people from card counting. Like you could have used little punch out tokens for coins, but I like this way more because it gives more variety and like more like, you know, less safety net for people.
Yeah. Well, you still could play it that way too, because you could be like, you know, if you want to do the card counting thing, you could be like, okay, you know, maybe I want to do it this way, but instead what I'll do is instead of grabbing, you know, all this coinage, maybe I'll get short amounts of coins to buy these small things, and then I can kind of still keep the count of, you know, whatever else I want to get, you know. So, you know, even though other people can kind of screw that up by grabbing more coins,
the other people around the table could be hoarders.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's a good strategy for things. You know, it's like, okay, you could read the room and be like, okay, well, no one's really grabbing that many coins right now. So maybe, you know, I can grab less coins and kind of, you know, play it that way. But also you could be that person that's like, okay, I really like what's going on here. I'm just going to keep coining and coining and coining up. And then, you know, getting these bigger guys that kind of help guys and gals that kind of help, you know, the help your, you know, hand get a little bit better and stuff like that for missions and stuff like that.
True. And it's like, and what I do like is, now I mentioned before, like, you know, if people start hoarding up those coins, right? Because, you know, you're like, oh my God, like what happens? Like what's to stop everyone from just taking gold? And then there's no deck left. Tax card. This is the worst thing on earth to see when you have 12 coins. This helps Kurt's idea of spend often. But yeah, it's like what I really find interesting about this game now is like this is one of the few games that we have played consistently since we got it, and I think we've had it for like 2 years now. It's probably like my favorite little to-go game. It has so much variety, so much diversity. And the other thing I noticed too that's really weird is it seems like every time I break this out for people, they dig it, and they've also never heard of it. Which is like kind of baffling for me. Like,
yeah, it's funny because you like for the longest time before you buy this for us, you know, you kept going, okay, you guys have got to get this, you got to try it, you know. And it's one of those games that we never, you know, we never got into, we never looked at it, you know. We kind of looked for it, a chance to grab it, you know. And then finally, when you're sent it, we're like, why didn't we ever pick this up, you know? And it's a small box game. It's actually not, you know, it's not super expensive either. You know, it's like one of those games that you could play for a very long time but not get the same game twice and not get sick of.
You know, actually, as we're talking about this game, I think I'm going to do a little bit of a solo push with it right now as we talk, because it's that good. See, that's the thing I enjoy about this so much, though. It's the fact that this is like a great glove box game, right? Now, I will admit, the Steve Jackson box does mean you have to have a slightly bigger glove box. So, and you might be wondering why there's 2 copies here. This is my copy. This could be your copy. That's another reason we're doing this, because we're having a giveaway right now. But so admittedly, this is a little harder to put in your glove box, right? But you'll notice the deck in its entirety is only this. This also fits in any Ultra Pro deck box and stuff like that. So, you know, I would say deck box it and throw it in your glove box, you know?
Yeah. I think no offense to Steve Jackson games, but the big box is not needed.
I don't understand why. And I'm actually going to show you a little something. So we're going to do a quick size comparison just because I want to touch on something you noted before. So people are wondering what the difference between the old Lookout Spiel version and the Steve Jackson version is, right? So I got 2 cards here. You'll notice like the victory point symbols like a little different, right? You'll also notice that the card is slightly bigger, right? So like I don't know if you can see that little bit of overlay there, but yeah, these are the like Munchkin size, and they're also like a little thinner. The old Lookout Spiel ones, it's like a solid card. It feels like more like Magic cards. Now, when you were saying about the size of the box, right? I love doing like little like makeshift skinning projects using foam core. We were able to put the Steve Jackson version in up top, and then underneath I have the Lookout Spiel version with the expansion all in this box, and it all fits. This box is way too big for what they did. I don't understand that part. But, yeah, because this thing, I mean, like, now this one I got, this is like a hefty weight because of all the extra stuff in there.
Right. So here we go again. So here are your Munchkin cards and your Port Royale cards. See? Same thing. Size. So, obviously, their cutter, they're gonna keep it the same. They're not changing anything. They probably, bought thousands of them. So they're like, we're not going to return them or get a new huge cutter or something like that. And then here's your comparison. Port Royale box, Munchkin box. Oh, very similar. Actually, you can't really see it, but the Munchkin box is just a little bit bigger, just a little bit.
Like half a centimeter.
But anyway, yeah, exactly. But pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, there's a 50-50 chance that the box for this will be in the garbage and you'll just have a deck box for it. The other thing is this. Now, the reason I held on to my Lookout Spiel version is because there is an expansion that's available from Lookout Spiel, and that's also in English. And then there's also an expansion that's not, and I made the mistake of ordering that a little too early. And my German is not that great. And by not that great, I mean none. So, yeah, so those cards I can't read or use, but we're like, man, I bet they do so many cool things when you play. Hopefully Steve Jackson will look into bringing over the game, the expansion game within a year or so. I didn't hear any plans for it yet. We'll see. I mean, like, I'm really hoping that they do. But even without, like, just playing the Steve Jackson game, like the base game is really, really good.
Awesome. Well, why don't you run through a hand of it and show people exactly, how Port Royale plays.
All right, so let's just quick do that, shall we? All right, so I'm going to give the little bit of a tilt over here with my what looks like rubber arms because of the screen. All right, so let's say, ready? Now, if my first card to come up was, say, this ship, this is 4 coins, and it cannot be fought off because of the skulls. Instantly, I would take this to take 4 coins, right? No doubt about it. Sometimes the hands are that quick. Jack of all trades, he's going to help me out with quests, but I would need more gold. Say a captain comes out, he can help out towards this quest too.
Oh, do you want to move the cards up just a little bit? I can't see the bottoms of them. Nope. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Right. This is always one of my favorite cards in the game. The Governor. He is worth no points, but what he lets you do is pull an extra card every time it's your choice to pick.
Plus, you can say, hello, Governor.
You could, which is very appropriate.
Speaking people. Sorry.
I was going to say, hello, Governor is a great term in Germany that I'm sure they use all the time. We would have like another British card over here, right? And this is what I love about this game, like the pushing your luck, right? Now, here's a perfect example. This Spanish ship. This would be 3 coins, right? I would unquestionably say I'm claiming this boat, get 3 more coins, start building up those reserves. This is like a great time for other players. Somebody can take this British ship. They're still going to get a coin, and they just got to give me one, right? Somebody takes that. I get a coin. They get a coin. Somebody decides, I need that Jack of all trades for that quest. They give me a coin. They buy that Jack of all trades. What I love about this is that there's a reason for everyone to have their eyes on the table all the time, right? It's like even like like Love Letter is a similar thing. Love Letter is a game where when people are playing it, everyone's constantly like, what's going on, because you don't want to guess the wrong number, or it's like if somebody has a handmaiden out, you can't target them. Like you're constantly like if you're not paying attention in Love Letter, I think it's like a reason to get slapped in the face. right? Like if you're just like, like going on Google doing nothing and stuff, unless you're watching one of our videos, in which case you're the greatest love letter player ever, and we highly encourage that all the time. But like if, love letter you want to stay involved with, this is a push your luck of the same caliber, I would say. Like you want to see what people are putting out there, because if you need that settler, you could start going, dude, I would take that friendship, man. Like 2 coins, like, next, like think about it. You can buy the governor next turn if you take that friendship. Like there's interaction there, and if they're like, no, I'm going to keep going, and then that tax card comes out, and now it's like whoever has the most swords gets 1 coin, right? Somebody else gets a coin. Now they can afford to buy that governor from that player, right? And they're like, oh yeah, you should definitely take that ship right now. Like I want to buy the governor. I'll give you a coin if you just clean out now. Like this game lets you do those things, and I kind of like that, because a lot of small games really don't have that much going on, like with around the table, and this kind of stands out for it. Another thing is, it's something that I notice that people catch on to quickly. I've never really had a game of Port Royale going where people like, oh, I don't understand this or whatever. Like generally once you get one of the handlers, like the handlers are these guys, and if I can find one super quick, here we go, perfect. Oh, I'm sorry, they're traders in this game. Like whenever you have these, right, they have a flag associated with them. If you take a ship of that nation, you get +1 coin. Once you have one of these, you know what they do. Once you fight off your first successful ship, you know how the combat works. Or one of my favorites, the Jester. If it is your turn to go and there are no cards to buy, including if you're the active player and you bust, you just get a coin. Jester's great because you're like, come on, man, push your luck. Go ahead. Get another boat. Get another boat. Get it. Oh, you blew it. I get $1. It's like, this
is a thing where you can push your own luck, and you go, well, even if I don't get that one ship that I want that's going to give me a lot of coins, I could still bust and get a coin or 2, depending on how many that you have.
One of our buddies, Howard, had 2 Jesters out, and every time it was his turn, he was like, push, 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 push. Because as he said it, if I don't get 4 boats, I still get 2 coins. So I'm either going to get 4 boats and 2 choices, or I'm just going to get $2. Either way, I'm happy. And we were like, oh my God, that's actually brilliant. It's like, I want to do that now. That, and when playing with our buddies, when we were playing with George and Ed, they are like in a war to get the Jesters with each other. I don't know why. It's like their favorite card on earth. But I just, like I said, it's something pretty, it's really fun, really different. I've gotten, I would say, over 50. I think our 50th play was not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. I think we're probably at like about 55 now. And it's still fun. Like this is one of the few games where it's like, as noted, like, I'm a deliverer of parcels. So, with holiday season, like we're working like 12, 13-hour days. This is one of the few games that when I get home from work, it's like, oh man, we only got like half an hour. Let's do Port Royale. And we can, and it's still a fun game, Yeah.
It's one of those that, it's quick enough, it's light enough, it's easy enough to learn, but it also has high strategy. So it kind of, burns the brain a little bit, because even if you're playing a quick game, like you said, off of a long day of, a long day of work or whatever, you still can get in, a nice quick game, something that, really you don't have to put like a lot of thought in, but you can with the strategy of the cards and how you want to play it. If you want to do the trader thing, if you want to do if you want to do the Jester thing, if you want to depending upon if the certain strategies of which guys will complement the best, or gals. So
that's one of the things too. Like I do like that you'll find that you actually kind of have your favorite cards to help you go for your strategy, and there's nothing more painful between the I know this card will help me win, but I really like to have those jack of all trades, so I know I'm covered for any expeditions that come up. But that's what makes this game, like, I think, really stand out. And there's one other thing that's kind of funny with the difference between the US and the Germany version. They took out the advanced rule option in this rule book, and I don't know why. Advanced rules are simply you must complete one mission to be able to win the game. So it's not enough to have just 12 points. You also have to do a mission. They took that out in the Steve Jackson games. I guess they were like, maybe it's like the guy that was like translating it lost like 6 times in a row and he was like, you know what? No, we're just not putting that rule in there. No, you don't need missions to win anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, you can win no matter what. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Just it's because I didn't do anything doesn't mean that someone else,
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, Tom, you need that. And he's like, oh, do I? Well, guess what? I just sent it to the printer, so no, we don't. I kind of like that idea to why it's not in there. It makes it a little more spiteful. And you know how I like vengeance in games.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're a very spiteful, hateful person.
Right?
But but you could do the whole thing too. Like this is a good game to write your own advanced rules too. Like the whole thing with like hitting one mission or whatever. You could be like different things where it's like, okay, you can't win the game unless you have one of each different type of character on the board or something like that.
Now, see, it's kind of interesting that you said that, because I'm going to show you one reason to look into the German version. In their expansion, they have these mission cards, right? So you can tell that it becomes the truest of Euro because there's cubes. And there's these new mission cards that come out that basically it encourages you to go for more variety of characters. Like take, for example, this one, the Trade Outpost. You need a settler and a clerk, right? Once you have that, you just put your little cube on the first available space to mark that you completed it. You're going to get 4 gold coins. The next person that will do it will get 3, 2, 1, and so on. There's like, this is something that I think is always really interesting. Basically, it's by getting railed from the tax cards. Like if you get railed by the tax card, you'll actually get 7 gold back. It's almost like, think of it as like a short-term refund, but you only get it once.
Wow.
Right? Or, and this one is good luck doing it, the Pack of Pirates.
Wow.
You have to, I believe this one is you must fight off one of every ship.
Wow.
Right? But it's really, yeah. And then the other thing is, in addition to that, they're also worth points. So nice. I like that. It's like a new way of playing the game. It actually introduces like new solo and co-op modes, which is really fun. That's one of the reasons to look out, for the Lookout Spiel game version. And another thing is this. Now, like I said, we're giving away a copy by rating us on iTunes and everything. So don't feel that this version is a bad one. But if you happen to go on Amazon, say you do want the German version, when I ordered it, I had to wait about 10 or 11 weeks.
Wow. So you have to have a lot of patience? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, that was when I ordered it. However, you can get the Lookout Spiel version on Amazon now, and you can get it like in 3 days.
Nice.
They started like a better distribution in the US. So let's just say you happen to go to mfgcast.com and click those Amazon links just on an off shot. You can get the base game. You know what? We're actually going to live check it right now. So this information is accurate as humanly possible. I believe last check it was about $15. And we are going to confirm that right now as you hear the clicking to prove that this is legit.
You go ahead and do that. And I'll talk about one thing that I was going to say before you got into the whole talking about the price or whatever. But another thing I like about the expansion with the cards trying to get different things is that it teaches you to maybe have these combos that work. Maybe if you're not used to doing it a certain way, with like say you've got a trader and a governor or whatever, this kind of forces you to try to go that way, and then maybe you'll find certain ways that those kind of complement each other. So I like that idea.
All right, so ready? I'm going to show you a couple of quick things here. Can you actually see this, or is this a little too bright for you?
It's a little too bright. It looks like a blue bubble.
We're going to try something out here. Because, any better? Okay. So on Amazon, this is the Pegasus Spiel Port Royale Unterwegs, right? This is actually almost like a super easier version of Port Royale that does have some cards you can mix into your main deck if you want to spruce it up a bit. But this is the most simplest, streamlinest version of Port Royale you'll find, right? This can be done like, say like you want to introduce these style of games, like these little somewhat abstract with the cards also being the coins and stuff to people. That is on Amazon for about $12 after shipping. The German Port Royale, it is still a little bit longer. It's like about 2 weeks now. This is $15 with shipping on Amazon. If you wanted to get the German, and then the expansion, 17 with shipping. So, I mean, for $40, you can get the base game and the expansion, if you really wanted to. Or you can even, just go and get the Steve Jackson version, which is still a perfectly fine game. The game in and of itself is great. Since we played it so often, I like those expansions a little bit. But if you review MFGCast on iTunes, right? Subscribe to the YouTube. Why not? All these ways will be, ways to get in. Let us know that you did these things. Give us a tweet at MFGCast. We're going to send you out a copy of this game, right? If we get a massive influx of entrants, because that's very likely to happen, right? Yeah, I think that's going to happen. If we get a massive influx of entrants, I think I'd be able to actually send out 2 of these because I love this game so much. But there's a definite one that will be going out to somebody. We just need you guys to let us know you want it. That's all it takes, man.
Yep,
this could be yours.
For sure. And I will comment that, even though I have not played the original version of it, and you sent us the Steve Jackson game versions of it, I love it. I love playing it. I want to get to the table more. Now that you say it, I want to go play it now. Right? So I think once we're done, I think I'll be like, Tracy, we're playing it. I want to.
You know what's funny? I'm seeing that copy of Oh My Goods behind you. I'm like, damn, I got to get Kim to play Oh My Goods tonight.
That's right. This is called awesome product placement. Look at Alexander Pfister in 2 games. So,
all right. So hopefully a lot of people will see this, realize, man, I got to get me this game because that sounds awesome. The fact that I can put it in the glove box of my Humvee or perhaps my Army Jeep or get a deck box and then it can fit in any car is going to be an appealing factor. And like I said, I just really, really recommend this one.
Yeah, definitely. So looking for something small, cheap for somebody for Christmas, a little stocking stuffer. Well, now that we talked about the box, maybe not so much. Maybe you can put it in a I don't know, a nice card deck box or something like that, and put it in their old stocking or whatever, or just a cheap nice little game to give for like a gift exchange or something like that. So.
Yep, and also just remember, like with that playtime, it's a nice little in between the holidays, rushing around. Like, hey man, you want to do a quick Port Royale? Let's do this. Oh yeah, one last tiny tidbit. At 2 players, still beautiful. That's another thing I like about it.
Very much so. Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't played this more than 2 players, but I like that it's a good 2-player game because you don't get a lot of that anymore. A lot of times these games are always like, best at 3, but okay with 2, something I can easily play with 2 and enjoy it.
Yeah, no special modifiers or, remove the following cards or, it's the point. No, it's still 12 points and super quick. All right, man.
Exactly. And I'm sure there's other ways, like even if we were to send you the Steve Jackson game version and you don't want to pay that much for the, expansions and stuff like that, you could always look them up on BGG. I'm sure they got it. And do them yourself,
Right? That homemade touch. All right, man.
That's right.
So you're going to go grab Tracy and play a game of Port Royale?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
And hopefully you guys grab a copy and play it too.
All right, and I'm hoping to see some entrants, man, because I think this coming weekend, because I want it to be there for the holidays for whoever wins. I want you guys to be able to enjoy this one on Christmas Eve, while gathered with your closest.
Yes, definitely for sure. So until next time, I am Kurt.
And this is D. Wyatt.
Oh, jeez. Here we go again.
Forever.
That's Dan. Yep.
It is.
MFGCast.